Hey guys, Marmalade here with Marmalade Outdoors, and as you can tell, I'm not on trail. Well, something crazy happened that's never happened to me backpacking, and I'm extremely disappointed and bummed and a decent amount embarrassed too because I've really not failed any of the longer hikes I've ever tried. The only one I failed was because I broke my ankle on the PCT, and there's nothing I can do about that. So every longer backpacking trip I've tried, I've succeeded. So I'm super disappointed. I started planning this 6 months ago when I got my permit, and so, but it's a little embarrassing. But I've tried to get my ego out of it. But I want to explain what happened to us, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes. But um, so we started on the 14th. Today is the 16th. So the 14th, we went up actually on the 13th and acclimated. Myself and Dave, and then my two hiking mates, Tony and Brian. We all met up there and to camp, so we'd be by the trail, but also acclimate. It's just under 10,000 feet there at Cottonwood Pass. And on the way up, if you've ever been up there, it's a very steep switchbacks going up. I started getting a headache, and I know the signs of what I thought I was getting, but I wasn't sure, and I started to feel kind of lethargic and stuff. But I was kind of tired. It was a long. We had to drive 2 whole days to get from Washington to the start of the trail. So I thought, man, I'm just tired. I slept horribly. Couldn't sleep all night. It wasn't really excitement of the trail. I just was getting ready to do a trail. I couldn't sleep. Barely got any sleep, and the headache just increasingly got worse. And on the 14th, we started, all four of us. We hiked. We made it to our first camp at Rock Creek. It's about 14 and a half miles, and it was quite tough. It's very rocky, lots of those big stone steps, and very deep sand, like unusual amount of deep sand, which made it exceptionally hard. And so we made it, but I started feeling worse and worse. And actually, my hiking partner Dave, he started to feel crummy. He got like a stomach a thing, which caused a lot of nausea. And for both of us, because of what we were dealing with, we lost our appetite. I took my vitamins and a boba bar to start the day, the first day of hiking, and I couldn't eat one thing the whole entire way. I got to camp, and I had my backpacker pantry meals and all my stuff. I couldn't eat any of it. I ate one little piece of a Rice Krispie treat that was my dessert, and I couldn't even eat all of that. So I basically almost had nothing all day. And Dave was nibbling on stuff, but eventually couldn't eat either. So um, what we had to do is find. We were just hoping to feel better because the next day was doing a lot of climbing up to Guitar Lake, which is at the base of Mount Whitney, if you don't know. And then day three, we're going to summit Mount Whitney, and that officially starts our JMT hike. The problem I was having was I knew I had elevation sickness, and I wrote down some symptoms that I eventually had. There's I'll go over what I had. Hopefully, this helps you in case you ever get it. I had the headache, lethargy. I was extremely lethargic, extremely even before we got going. A drop in performance. So that's like your lethargic and your energy level of lack of coordination. So I didn't lose it completely. I'm a pretty coordinated person generally. So I did lose some. I could feel that I wasn't right. It didn't feel right, and I'm trying to hop on stones and not trip, and I still did okay, but like I wasn't as quick and smooth as I normally am. Insomnia. I almost didn't sleep the night before and the night on trail after our first night of hiking, and appetite loss. I just stopped eating anything, and so and same with Dave. So we had a decision. We were, like I said, 14 and a half really tough miles to get there, but I didn't want to go further. There's a story last year of a young lady who was around 23 on doing the whole PCT, and she started showing signs of um, uh, elevation sickness up by Guitar Lake. It's Whitney is not part of the PCT, but you can do it on your permit, which I did when I went through. So she did that. She started getting blue lips, which I didn't have, but she had extreme elevation sickness signs. But she's super fit, young. She'd already hiked about 800 miles, so she went up, finished Whitney, came down. When you get down to lower elevation, that's one way to cure it. She felt a little better, but still felt horrible. She was a good athlete, so she pushed, and she ended up dying on the way up to Forester Pass. So you can die from this, and it's serious. And so I found that I'm pretty tough. I wanted to push through it and everything, but we decided, Dave and I, that we would sleep and see how we feel in the morning. The problem was if we go any further and we get up there and then we're worse off and we're still not eating. We can't do 6 days before a resupply without eating anything. If we get worse off, now we're in the middle of 3 days one direction or 3 days the other, and we might have to be rescued. So we had to kind of decide. So we just decided we'll see how we do in the morning. He felt horrible. I felt worse. I had a worse headache, and I was more tired. I mean, it was partly from the hard day the day, but it's really I could tell that my energy level was low, and I wasn't eating. So we decided just we just really didn't want to. We decided to just go back. So thankfully, we had our angel Christy, who is Dave's wife, was going to be resupplying us along the trail. So every time we got off trail, like over Kearsarge past the Onion Valley, she was going to pick us up, take us to zero. She was going to meet us at VDR, all that stuff that I made a video about. So um, he texted her on the Garmin, got her to meet us at Cottonwood Pass. It was a brutal, brutal day because we already had the day before leg on our legs, but we felt so horrible. And I'm not a headachy person. I don't get headaches very often, but when you had a headache and then you're trying to backpack at high elevation over 11,000 feet, my head was just splitting a lot of the times. It would kind of come and go, but I felt crummy and I was lethargic and I hadn't slept very much in 2 days. And I hadn't eaten in 2 days too. So it just all adds up. So she thankfully met us at the parking lot. We left a little after 7:30, got there at almost 5, and we were staggering. We were having to stop every 100 feet at the end. We were so tired, just completely drained of any kind of energy. So last night we came down, and I was going to make this video yesterday, but I was too spent. So we got a motel last night. We're taking a kind of a low-key day. We went and saw some sights today. But I'm sorry that there's only one day of video. There's all this buildup. I did a resupply plan, which hopefully will help people, and my gear video. And I've had videos before this about my plans. And this is so shocking to me and kind of embarrassing. But I had to be honest with myself and listen to my body. I've never, ever had this. I just did the High Sierra Trail and did Whitney, and I didn't have this problem. I've probably been hiking in the Sierra 6 or 7, 8 years since I started hiking. And I've probably done about 15 trips in the Sierra, never had it. And I usually acclimate, but I've had trips I just drive up and start hiking, and I thought I was impervious to this. I've never had it, but I actually understand how it works because they say if you were to, let's say you go up the Sierra 10 times, you may get it once. It's not like a car sick where somebody gets it and they just get it, or like seasickness where you just get it all the time. It's very random. It depends on your body makeup. You could be under, maybe under nutrition or not enough water and hydration, things like that. It could be anything about your makeup, but it'll just be one day and you cannot go. And I had to really be honest, and it was really hard for me. Trust me, it was really hard. I hope you guys aren't too disappointed. You've always been very supportive. If you understand, I would love to hear it. And if you don't, that's okay too. But once again, this is not something that I've ever dealt with or even had to accommodate. So that's about it. Sorry if it's a little bit long, but I want to explain to you what happened. The good thing is that I mean, it's not the good thing, but I would have been. It's August 16th. I was going to be finished on September 2nd. So now I have time. I'm going to be spending a bunch of time in Mammoth area in the Sierra. I don't know about backpacking. I'm a little burnt out now and want to get my body recovered, but I want to do a bunch of beautiful day hikes and camping, car camping, things like that, and exploring and showing some sights. So please follow me along. I still have got a month and a half off. I may go to Idaho, Montana, maybe Oregon and Washington again. So just stay tuned. I have an open schedule now. I don't even have plans because I thought I'd be on the trail. So anyway, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And we'll see you down the trail. Bye.